Atway, President.
Here.
Mrs. DeCaprio, Vice President.
Here.
Dr. Alquist.
Here.
Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Mr. Demilo.
Here.
If you would stand to pledge the flag, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we will get to start off our meeting with our introduction of our April Rotary Students of the Month. And we will start with the high school. Is that what we're going with? All right, Dr. Potts, you're up first.
Somebody was tall here. All right. Is that mic on? Okay. Okay. My name is Mark Potts. I'm principal at Canfield High School. And Canfield High School is proud to announce that the May Rotary Club Student of the Month is Parker Julian. Parker's, oh, thank you. Good club. I'm going to brag on you a second first, though. So, all right. Okay, Parker's a senior who's planning to go to Miami University in Oxford, Ohio in the fall, where he plans to major in finance or possibly supply chain management. He's smart, I can't even say it. He further hopes to earn an MBA and later become an entrepreneur. So at Canfield High School, Parker has a solid GPA over 3.5, even while challenging himself with AP classes and a difficult schedule. I asked him, he said he'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Ruark, who's his favorite teacher. So congratulations, Mr. Ruark. Parker played tennis this year. He's played basketball in the past. He's volunteered with United Way and with his church. He's not afraid of work. He's had jobs as cleaning commercial properties, refereeing flag football, and ushering at the Canfield Fair. His guidance counselor, Mrs. Reed, mentioned that something that really shows his strong character is how last summer he spent caring for his father who was going through cancer treatment at the time. And although that wasn't an ideal summer for any teenager, would want to have Parker would make the same choice again to spend that time with his dad. So please join me in congratulating Parker Julian as the Canfield High School Student of the Month. Thank you. Good picture here.
Congratulations, Parker, and to the Julian family. Nice job. Mr. Rubin.
Actually, I'm going to be recognizing two today. I'm 1 month behind. So we're going to start with our April Rotary Student of the Month, Milana Molenkoff. If you could come up here, please. Milana was nominated by her social studies and language arts teacher. We got together and actually talked to a few of her teachers she had in elementary, in the 5th and 6th grade too, and just we came together with a little paragraph here. So I talked to some of her teachers in the past as well. Milana is the type of student we strive for at CVMS. She started out as a shy 5th grader, but has blossomed into a leader in the classroom and on the athletic field. Even though we hate to see students like Milana leave here, we know she is ready for high school and will do great things. And I definitely, as somebody observing a lot of the athletic events, she started out playing volleyball in 7th grade, just kind of blended in, did well, but didn't really, just kind of saw her but didn't see her. And then 8th grade, I felt like every play Milana was in. I just like watching her blossom like that. And I know the time she puts in for volleyball and anything she puts her mind to. We're just really impressed with that. Her favorite subject is ELA. She likes to write and read a lot. She lives with her parents. Her mom and dad are here with her younger sister. She likes to hang out by the pool in the summer and drive to the beach. They also have 2 dogs at home. One day she'd like to visit Italy and wants to do something in the medical field. Just some of her hobbies, she likes to play softball, track, and volleyball, and one of her favorite things is hanging out with her friends. So we're super proud of Milana, and we'd like to present this certificate to her. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Take a picture of Mr. Milana.
Thank you.
I got one more here. He is we have Andrew Mills. I'm just going to say a few words. His mom is here. Hi, Mrs. Mills. Welcome. Andrew is currently participating in our 7th and 8th grade drama play this week, so they're like in sudden death getting ready to go, so he has not been able to attend tonight. But I just want to talk about him a little bit as an exceptionally hardworking and helpful student. He is dedicated to his studies. He's kind and always willing to help. He's a model student that any school would be fortunate to have. He has a positive impact in the classroom and the school year. Mr. Tarosi wrote this about him because he's always told me that he's one of his favorite students, so I had him write a little excerpt there. They don't have any pets, but like to play games at home and watch movies. When he gets older, he'd like to be a carpenter and go through the apprenticeship program. And he likes to play football with his friends. So I'm looking forward to having lunch with him and his friends. So I also want to just say, with the Rotary lunch, one of my favorite things is taking those students to the lunch during that time, getting to bond with them and just see them in a different light. So we really appreciate all the support and all the love that the Rotary shows our district. So we really appreciate that. So thank you very much.
Congratulations again to Andrew and the Mills family. Mr. Lavery.
Good evening. My name is Travis Lavery. I'm the principal at C.H. Campbell Elementary School in Canfield, and I am joined today by Tessa Kibbe, who is going to be our April Rotary Student of the Month. Tessa, when we put out our poll to all of our teachers of what students should be great models of our Rotary Student of the Month, her name came to the forefront. She is such a positive role model for all of the students at C.H. Campbell. She also always strives to do her best day in and day out. She is very diligent and hardworking, takes her studies very seriously. If she has a moment where she's not busy with an assignment, she's either silently reading or getting prepared for an upcoming test, just making sure that she's always going to be able to do her best day in and day out. She also participates in a variety of sports. She plays softball, soccer, and basketball, and even with that busy schedule, she is able to keep up with her studies with that hard work ethic that she has. Her favorite subject is mathematics. She's joined today by, I see a lot of her family back there, her 5 siblings and 3 cats, as well as 1 fish, as well as her parents are back there also. She's hoping to one day be a pro soccer player, but if that does not work out, she's going to be a teacher, which I think is an admirable profession, so I give that one my nod of approval. And like I said, she plays soccer, softball, and basketball. Just an amazing student, and we are so blessed to have her as a part of C.H. Campbell Elementary. Congratulations.
Michael Flood, principal of Hilltop Elementary. I have Emerson Estock here. You know, one of the things that stood out when I went up to the teacher this past month and I said, who's the student of the month? I mean, right away she picked up Emerson. She just said he's just the ideal kid for this. And so we're pleased to have him as our Rotary Student of the Month. Emerson is always an enthusiastic learner. He's excited about everything he does in class. One thing, he's excited about tests, which a lot of kids don't say that. He is friendly to everyone and makes the whole class smile, especially when he reads his writing pieces in the classroom. His favorite subject is social studies, lives with mom, dad, and has a dog named Nora. Likes to ride his bike and run. He likes to go to North Carolina, hopefully you're a Duke fan, and on vacation, and likes to visit the lighthouse. When he grows up, he likes to be a professional computer coder and loves to visit one day another Air Force museum. He actually started his own business. He's in the process of writing a book and starting a website so he can sell that book. So very excited for him, and the middle school, you're getting a great kid. So Everson, we're proud of you.
Congratulations to Emerson and the Stock family. And good luck in your entrepreneurship. That's outstanding. Congratulations to all of our Rotary students. I do know that it's a school night, so this is the spot where we say if you'd like to leave, we won't be offended. You're more than welcome to leave at this point. For everybody else, we do have more on the agenda, so, but congratulations and thank you again for being here. Next up, we do have some student resolutions. We have student resolutions 160, 2024 through 165, 2024, and 169 through 178. So in reading these resolutions, we'll start with art. Whereas Vivian Nora's drawing, Time is Everything, was included in the top 300 works in the statewide 2024 Ohio Governor's Youth Art Exhibition and was awarded a Regional Scholastics Golden Key Award, qualifying for national judging, and her drawing, Watching Time Pass, was included in the top 300 works in the statewide 2024 Ohio Governor's Youth Art Exhibition, and was awarded a Regional Scholastics Gold Key Award, qualifying for national judging, and her drawing, Ignoring Time, was included in the top 300 works in the statewide 2024 Ohio Governor's Youth Art Exhibition. And whereas Vivian's drawing, Evelyn, was awarded a Regional Scholastics Gold Key Award, qualifying for national judging. And whereas Jace Roberts' painting, Deconstruction, was awarded a Regional Scholastics American Visions Award, signifying Best of Show, and a Gold Key Award, qualifying for national judging. And whereas Jace's drawing, Imprint, was awarded a Regional Scholastic Silver Key Award. And whereas Lauren Runyon's illustration, Beauty in the Little Things, was included in the top 300 works in the statewide 2024 Ohio Governor's Youth Art Exhibition, and her illustration, Rely on Yourself, was awarded a Regional Scholastics American Visions Award, signifying Best of Show, and a Gold Key Award, qualifying for national judging. And whereas Lauren's illustration, Self-Motivation, was awarded a Regional Scholastic Silver Key Award. And whereas Alexa Joseph's drawing, Mia, was included in the top 300 works in the statewide 2024 Ohio Governor's Youth Art Exhibition and was awarded a Regional Scholastic Silver Key Award. And whereas Alexa's drawing, 4th of July, was awarded a Regional Scholastic Silver Key Award. And whereas Miles Ghostie's drawing, Grieving Angel, was awarded a Regional Scholastics Gold Key Award, qualifying for national judging, and his drawing titled Still Life was awarded a Regional Scholastic Gold Key Award, qualifying for national judging. And whereas Miles's digital portrait, What Once was awarded a Regional Scholastic Silver Key Award. And whereas Lily Nelson's painting, Bass Harbor Lighthouse, was awarded a Regional Scholastic Silver Key Award. And whereas Catherine Paget's painting, Bedroom Scholar, was awarded a Regional Scholastic Silver Key Award. And whereas Catherine's drawing, Still Life with Bust, was awarded a Regional Scholastic Silver Key Award. And whereas Brenna Hemming's drawing, Marissa, was awarded a Regional Scholastics Gold Key Award, qualifying for national judging. And whereas Madison Edwards' drawing, Still Life with Sneakers, was awarded a Regional Scholastic Silver Key Award. And whereas Madison's painting, Dolly, was awarded a Regional Scholastics Honorable Mention. And whereas Aubrey Hermes's drawing, Time, was awarded a Regional Scholastic Silver Key Award. And for boys basketball, whereas the Canfield High School boys basketball team was named AAC champs, sectional champs, district champs, regional runners-up, and ranked 5th in the state in Division II. And whereas Dom Cruz was named First Team All-AAC, First Team All-District, First Team NEO, and Third Team All-Ohio in boys basketball. And whereas Sam Castronova was named First Team All-AAC in boys basketball, and whereas Tony Russo was named Second Team All-AAC in boys basketball, and whereas Ben Weaver was named Second Team All-AAC in boys basketball, and whereas Drew Shapiro was named Second Team All-AAC in boys basketball, and therefore be it resolved that these individuals be commended for these outstanding accomplishments, and that these resolutions be spread upon the official minutes of the Canfield Board of Education, and that copies be presented to them. Congratulations to all, and great job. I see we have a number in the audience, so kudos to everybody. All right, next up, we have the superintendent's update.
So I was hoping we could talk a little facilities tonight, and I did a lot of talking at the state of the schools, so I'll just turn it back over to Mr. Atway and let you begin.
Okay, so I do appreciate, for those of you that attended the State of the Union for the schools, thank you for that. So I guess if I tee up the facilities discussion, this has been a discussion that I think merits a little bit of historical context, because for those that have kind of been a part of it, we know, but if you've forgotten about it, it's good to have that historical piece. I think in Canfield, we've been talking about facilities for quite some time. Me being on board in the school board, I think started in 2020. In interviewing for our superintendent at that point, we made it a mission as a part of that interview process to identify a superintendent that knew that one of their charges coming into the school district was to evaluate facilities and to be able to make those assessments and come back with recommendations. So I would take this all the way back to 2020. I think in 2021 is when we were able to bring on board a partner in TDA to help with taking this a step forward. We did our groundbreaking facilities committee, had stakeholders from across the community be involved, and then we went to ballot in 2022 looking for about $108 million, to which that plan was our campus setting from a K through 8, plus the ultimate goal of having a high school long-term on one site in Redgate. Unfortunately, we knew that came to a head and was defeated at around 72%. We were committed to evaluate and start from the ground up again. That's when we looked at a new group of people that came in. We had a new facilities committee established. In 2023, we then went to the polls with our plan of a K through 4, a 5 through 8, and select renovations to the high school, looking at about $104, $105 million if I'm being able to put that out there. We unfortunately had that defeated. The percentage in the delta was a little bit better, so I think we were at around 61% from against and 39% in favor. And so then fast forward to 2024, we took what we saw from the community as the priority needs, and the discussion now where we're at today is realizing that cost was probably one of the major factors, in excess of $100 million with I guess where we were at from a community headwinds, meaning our taxes had gone up from Mahoning County and didn't know what the reappraisals were going to look like. So we had a lot that we were trying to work through. Where we're at this year in 2024, we felt as a board that doing nothing was not an option and we have to do something. The community has pretty much, in my opinion, as well as I don't want to speak for the board, they'll be able to give their insight as well, but I think we're all aligned that the middle school is our pressing need, and everybody understands that is one of the major buildings that need to be remedied immediately. Ideally, we would like everything. We want long-term visionary thinking, we want to be able to be strategic in that approach, and we want to be able to say this is going to help us out for the next 50 years. With cost and finances being the major factor, I think we're hindered in that capacity, and unfortunately we're going to have to make that adjustment, and that's why looking at just the middle school with select renovations to keep us within a range that would be acceptable to the voters is where we're at. That number with the middle school and maybe about $19 million in renovations puts us still close to $70 to $75 million, which is still a heavy number. We're between a rock and a hard place, I think, as a school board, because we are trying to do what's best with the community's response. We're trying to do what's best for the students, what's best for our school district, but also make sure that it's acceptable to the voters, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't pass, we can't get this done. So looking at our 5-year spot as to where we're at, if we look at 2020 and where we're at today and how we're going to get this potentially going on in November, I personally feel that looking at our middle school with select renovations is the best option with what we're handcuffed in being able to do right now. I also understand that there's going to be people that tell us that we need to evaluate and look at other things and that there's other plans, but at the end of the day, we are not going to be able to get to a plan that's going to be 100% acceptable for all people. And so we have to look at what's best in the environment that we're in and try to educate the community as to why we've come to where we're at. I will pause there because I think I rambled a little bit more than people want to hear me talk, and open it up to the rest of the board.
No, I'll follow up with what Mr. Atway said. I mean, I couldn't explain it any better than he did, in full support of his explanation as to why or how we got to where we are now today. It would be awesome to be able to do everything, but we can't. We've heard that over the last several years. I wasn't part of the committee, when we put the levies on before, but I know there was an exhausted amount of effort by several people to meet several times, to share their thoughts, their feelings. There was a lot of time dedicated by those who were on that committee. So once again, thank you for that. I think if we put a committee again together, one together again, we'll hash out different ideas again. And to Mr. Atway's point, we'll probably be back to, a similar finding that, the amount that we first went for before was way too much. And we want a lot more than just the middle school, but looking at all the buildings in the district, that building by far is the one that needs to be addressed immediately. And we can't keep on, pushing it down the road, year after year. Obviously, even if it would, it would pass in November, we're still another year away from planning, another year away from construction, for it to be completed. So, we're looking at several years down the road to see it come to fruition now, assuming that it would pass this November. So, but I agree with what Mr. Atway said, and go to Steve or Beth.
So I do just want to make clear, agreeing for the most part with both of these gentlemen, that I do want the community to understand and know that we absolutely we hear them, we want the price tag down, but we also want to have a long-term plan. This isn't just like scrapping together the least amount of money we can get, throwing a plan in just to get the bare minimum. We really want like strategic planning for the future for these kids, for our school district. I feel that really the two attempts really had more of that. There was planning for one campus, things like that. But those both failed. So even though we want that, at this point I feel we are going to have to probably just go forward with middle school and select renovations to the other buildings to make them at least more tolerable.
And to your point, Dr. Alquist, I think when you look at our options and just wanting to be able to get everything that we need from an all-encompassing piece, we had tried that, and we still would like to try that, but as we delay and look at things, if you look at 1 year from 2023 to 2022 to 2023, the cost, bless you, of trying to, what we got for $108 million at the time to when we went to the next year and it was about 105, there was about a 30% cost set increase. And so the project itself, although it was close in number, wasn't giving us the exact same thing as the year before. And then where we're at this year, the cost set increase for a middle school will just continue to grow. So there is a piece of, I guess carpe diem, we have to seize the day that we're in, and so that's why I think we're kind of tied with trying to make the decision that we have to do, and being able to move forward with the pressing need of the middle school.
I've always been one that has pretty much said how I feel. Sorry how this might come out, but I'm not one to mince words. So, we tried it in 2022. If it would have passed, the big game, the one campus, we'd be breaking ground here in the next 10 months. That didn't work, and again, like Mr. Atway said, we tried again in 2023. No one wanted the campus. We broke it into 2 schools, getting less for the money, and it failed again. So now we are to this point, and yes, we've been cornered, kind of backed into a corner. We need to do something. We need new schools. We need them desperately. The middle school, again, with the board, seems to be the priority. That is the priority that the community has tasked us with. That is where we are going with select renos, because we have to have that $19 million in renos to keep the rest of the schools, just Band-Aid them until we can get to them, down the road. But again, down the road, we put up a new middle school. Hopefully this passes. We're praying that it passes. We are going to do our best to give, give this district the middle school that it deserves. But then we still need our elementary school, and I'm sorry to say, and I know this has been said time and time again, we kick the can down the road, but when we are all gone and it's time to go for an elementary school, a K through 4, it's gonna be more than we're paying for our middle school. And that's just the way it's gonna be. And I'm sorry to our district, and I'm sorry to our kids and our teachers for that. We did try. So that being said, I personally, as we are talking here, am for the new school, the new middle school, in its existing spot, with the renos that we have to have, because we can't just do nothing. That is not an option. So that is where I stand.
Yeah, I mean, I echo a lot of their thoughts, you know, with regards to concerns and needs across the district. Unfortunately, you know, with the last 2 votes, we have to look at the largest need, and the largest need, you know, in my opinion, and it seems like these folks' opinion, is the middle school. It's far from perfect. It's far from what I think is ideal and you know, best for the community, but you know, we can't keep throwing money at repairs and things, you know, at the middle school, and really across the district. So with that in mind, I think, you know, the middle school is definitely the building of need, and you know, I think, God willing, we'll pass that here in November, and at least start the ball rolling with new buildings across the district. You know, I know, Nader, you've talked about, you know, this isn't the issues with the elementary school or the high school aren't going away. I don't think we're saying that. This isn't a fix-all. You know, whether that's down the road here, coming back, you know, I don't know. That may be after we're gone, but you know, not a perfect situation. I know it's one that I've thought about and agonized over a lot here, and I know these folks have, and the community has. So, you know, but we're kind of where we're at, and we have to listen to the community and you know, try to address the needs with the facilities across the district. So.
I agree, and I want to say one thing. First of all, thank you to our facilities committee. We had an outstanding facilities committee this past year that was committed to going at length to make sure we got this passed, and unfortunately it didn't work. We've heard everyone that's reached out to us individually. We've listened to all the calls that have come through, all the emails of concerns, those that have said, you know, what they like about this plan or what they're concerned about. I want to reinforce to the CH students as well as the parents and the Hilltop students and parents, we're not giving up on our elementary schools. Are we potentially delaying that process and we can't get it all at once? Yes, we're saying from the stage that this part of the process is being slightly delayed, probably longer than what most would want, but we're not giving up on our elementary schools. However, we're just trying to prioritize what we need from, you know, what we have. And what I would ask those that are listening, those that are at home, if you ask your friends, your neighbors, the community needs to understand that from a school perspective, there's a direct correlation, in our opinion, and I think everyone's opinion, that strong schools equate to strong property values, which gets people to want to come to Canfield and stay in Canfield. And as much as it's going to be an increase in cost to the taxpayer, that there's a benefit and a value to being able to get this passed. And so what I would ask is for everybody to understand and realize that this is not something that came at the last minute as a whim. We've been ongoing for several years now, so the story of it's been a surprise, or where did this come from? We've been talking about this for quite some time, and we need people to be advocates for the Canfield School District, and I'm asking for everybody to entertain that and understand. If there's questions or concerns that you have, reach out to us as school board members. We're happy to take those calls. And for the committee that's going to be involved and hopefully we can get as many of the same people on board to help us. We're gonna ask everyone, so all of you that are here and that weren't a part of the committee last time, we're gonna ask you to engage. It's time to engage. Everybody in Canfield should be an invested stakeholder to be concerned about the school district.
And just to, another point of that, as a stakeholder, you are all stakeholders. Every single community member is a stakeholder in this district. And we ask you to engage, but not just on social media. We ask you to engage, one-on-one, friends, family, neighbors. Giant Eagle, which is that's the only place I have any social interaction whatsoever. But engage within the public, outside of social media. That hasn't gotten us very far, social media. So I would ask that, go outside at the games, at the different events, and if you can't answer that question, send them our way. We would be more than happy to answer any questions.
So, Mr. Knoll, I think next step would be next board meeting is when we would officially vote to be able to go on the ballot.
Yeah, we'll have an official resolution for you at
Okay.
our June board meeting, correct?
Okay. And just before I move on to the next topic, because I see people in the audience that I know some of their reasoning for being here, so if you could address, and this might be affiliated with the facilities, so projects for the summer that we've outlined and that you put in the schools, the state of the school address. So what does that look like for, tennis, softball, baseball?
Sure. So we're going to have a lot of action this summer, and it's all going to be positive. So let's go with the athletic piece, since Mr. Atwood brought that up. So we're going to be working on getting some relief for our drainage issues for the baseball and the softball fields. We're also going to move forward with some updates on our tennis courts that are in some desperate need as well. I talked earlier also about some projects going on this summer. Let's stay here with the high school. So above us, we're going to spend about $500,000 to fix up some of our roof here at the high school, the part that's still gravel. That's really in a bad way, but a lot more needs to be done here, but we'll get to that hopefully at a later date. If you drive around the parking lot here, we're in a bad way. So we're going to spend some serious dollars to update the majority of our parking lot here at the high school, not everything, but a big part of it moving forward. Both of our elementary schools, we're going to spend some time and money on secure vestibules, very similar to the one we have here at the high school. And for our friends over at C.H. Campbell, we're going to get air conditioning in that building. So that's a big ask and a lot of trepidation around this table. And I understand that. That's about a $3 million ticket item. But as I've shared with the board, and I appreciate their support, it's time that we start doing some of those updates and renovations. And I appreciate the conversation tonight. We'll do those things and focus a bond issue as well on that middle school. So that's our summer, Mr. Atway.
And so just for clarification, because in case I get emails to follow,
Yeah.
those projects, the goal would be to execute and implement and have completed by end of summer. So
That is correct. Yeah, last month you guys blessed our architectural work to be done on some of those projects. You're going to bless a couple more tonight, and then our next meeting, we hope to have the final contracts in place, and then we get the ball rolling.
gotcha.
And to clarify, Mr. Knoll,
Yes.
these summer projects that we're calling our summer projects would have nothing to do with any incoming levy money.
That is correct.
Were some of these summer projects that were earmarked for renovations in the bond issue?
Yes, they are.
Would
So
they-
that's an interesting conversation that we're going to have. So we earmarked $15 million, with some of this being part of that $15 million. So the board can have that conversation, how do we move forward with that as well? Because we're going to need to come up with a dollar amount here soon. We don't need to do that tonight, but that conversation's got to be coming as well. So that's probably on next month's agenda, is how you guys want to handle that.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully that answers a lot of the questions in the audience that I know might be coming forward, so. All right, next up is a presentation of the minutes. We have our minutes from the April 17th meeting that were received in advance. Can I get a motion to approve our minutes from the 17th?
So moved. DeCapua?
Second, Campbell.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mr. Demilo?
Yes.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes. Next up, we have public participation. As you know the rules, you have 3 minutes to come up to the mic. Please state your name and the address for the record. Mr. Henry, you are up first.
Jason Henry, 30 Montgomery Court here in Canfield. Can I have 5 minutes?
3. You know,
It says I can ask.
you can ask. Thank you.
Okay,
Asked and answered.
okay,
I won't start the clock till now. How about that?
fair enough. Good evening. I'd like to speak about building new schools. I do not speak for the levy committee, although I was and am on that committee, and I know that some of those members agree with what I'm saying, but I only speak for me and my family. I want to make sure that if you decide to put a levy up, it is for the right reasons. What could be the right reason? Better space for students is a good reason. Healthy learning environment, also a good reason. Because the last levy failed, not a good reason. Trying to pick a number, maybe 30, 20 million less than last time, I don't think that's a good reason. The reason must be tempered with more than a desire for a new school, but rather a need to get a levy passed. I think that if you ask the people of Canfield if we need a new school, a majority, if not most, would agree that we do. However, that same majority said no to the last bond issue and the one before that. Why the disconnect? I think it's up to the board to bridge that gap. We need new schools. If we put up a bond issue for a third time, it needs to pass. I'm not sure why the last one failed. I don't know that you know why the last one failed. It was a lot of money, yes, but there may have been other issues additionally. If we put up a levy that is 3/4 of that amount, will it pass? Half? Does it have to be a quarter? What is a passable number? I have said from this microphone previously that I do not think that the plan you are offering is the best plan. Will I vote for that plan? Yes. Will I support that plan? Yes. Is that enough? I don't know. We need more information. We need to know that the plan we proposed is the best, most affordable option. We need to understand why those that opposed it voted against it and address those concerns. When you vote as the board to put a bond issue on the ballot, you need to have the confidence that it will have the support of the majority of the voters. Is there a guarantee? Of course not. But unless you have the confidence that what you put forward will pass, it's a disservice to the voters, the levy committee, and the students that we all want the best for. We need new buildings. We've needed new buildings. The cost does only go up, and I do understand that. However, we may need to step back and ask tough questions that need to be answered. If you are confident that an issue in November will pass, great. I have doubt, and I just heard all of you say, I hope, I pray, by God's will. That's not going to pass a levy. We need to know that the levy going forward is a good idea that the community will support. When it goes forward, you need to be sure, or at least confident, that the community will support it with you. And hoping and praying is not enough. I'm a proud graduate of Canfield High School. My father was class of '61. My daughter, 2021 at MCCTC, and my son graduates here in a couple weeks. We live in Canfield because of the schools. You have done right by us. You've put some great people out into the community. And I believe that'll continue. But I believe it's our duty, and specifically your duty, to make sure that that happens. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. All I will say is we continue to be confident that we do need new schools. And we were confident the first go-around and the second go-around, and unfortunately, those were defeated and we had to make adjustments as well. And we're confident again this year, and we have to hope, because if I knew, I'd also play the lottery if I knew what the numbers were, but those are just some of those things that we have to go with. Mr. K. Fancy seeing you here today.
Edward K., 21 Edward Street. I was once again prepared to present more reasons tonight why building on the Edward Street property is such a bad idea. But after being at the April meeting, I think it's pretty evident that you've already decided what direction you intend to go, and you have known for some time. Instead, I'd just like to mention some comments and questions that we have heard over the past month while speaking out in the community to people, and also including several teachers. Please keep in mind that we are not campaigning against the dollar amount or the need for new schools, but only the poor choice of location. The number one question we've been hearing out there is, how is it that our schools have been allowed to get to such a poor state of repair? Was there never any concern for the future? And when we explain to people the problems and limitations with building on Edward Street property, most just shake their heads and say, once again, no foresight towards the future, and just another example of making poor decisions. The next comment we often hear is, if Poland and other school systems who have had several levies fail in the past have somehow figured out a way to go forward without putting another levy on the ballot, why can't Canfield? There still seems to be some degree of distrust within the community with the school system. We hear things like, if the bond passes, who's going to monitor the spending? Will someone not affiliated with the schools track the spending and report to the public? How are cost overruns to be addressed? Is there money in the budget for anticipated costly road and utility repairs? And what is that amount? It doesn't appear that the safety and well-being of the students and faculty are of a primary concern. Do you actually expect to deny children access to any normal outside activities for several years, expose them to any potential safety hazards, and disrupt teaching during construction and demolition without any consequences? And how safe is it to front a new school on a narrow city street without any sidewalks? What is the purpose of the Shield Road property if not to build on with an eye towards the future expansion and development that would benefit the entire school system? You talk about looking at the future and going with a new elementary school. Were a new middle school to be constructed on Shield Road property, the existing middle school could then be safely demolished, allowing for future construction of a much wanted and talked about combined elementary school on the same footprint, on the same property as previously discussed, and described by members of the board as a perfect location for an elementary school with easy walking access to the library, police and fire departments, city hall, and a town green. If the true reason for not building on a Shield Road property is due to slightly higher costs, then it appears that that is the price you're putting on the safety and welfare of the students and faculty. Things may be looked at differently if Edward Street was the only location available, but in this case, there are not only other alternatives, but much better alternatives, and I would again ask you to reconsider your choice at Edward Street location with all its problems and limitations, and to further explore utilizing the Shield Road property with a true concern to the future of Canfield schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kay. Appreciate your comments as always. The only thing I will say is for the one comment I think you mentioned as to how did we let the schools get in such a disarray, 100-plus-year-old building I felt like we've able to maintain for quite some time, and I feel like a school district should get accolades for continuing to have a building functioning of that age and capacity.
And I just have one comment to that, Mr. Kay. You were saying, building this school while the school in progress. I was in Worthington last weekend, and they're doing that exact same thing. They levied, they are building their high school directly in front of their old high school. And, because I was very, very critical and cynical when this plan came to us about just what you said. But after seeing it live, and how the plan was, egress, and everything, and where parking was, and they made exceptions for kids in certain areas. I mean, it works. It worked.
Very good. All right, Mr. Knoll, we have some personnel
We have a lot of personnel, so here we go. We have some resignations of our licensed staff. Michelle Tancer, a Hilltop Grade 2 teacher, effective June 1 of 2024, in Exhibit 1A. Under classified, Eileen Schultz, a bus driver, effective June 1 of 2024. That was Exhibit number 2. We have a transfer reassignment of our licensed staff, Nikki Tuchik, from the tutor at the middle school to Title I tutor at Hilltop, effective for the 24-25 school year. And under licensed hiring, we have Logan Franskowski, a middle school intervention specialist tutor at 7 hours a day at $21.06 per hour, effective for the 24-25 school year. And that's Exhibit number 3A. And Mr. Robert Beam, a 3-year administrative contract assigned to the athletic director at $85,000, August 1 of 24 through July 31 of 27, plus an additional, up to additional 10 days at a per diem rate of $326.92, effective May 9th through July 31st. That's Exhibit 3B. And Mr. Joe Nazio, a 3-year administrative contract assigned to the assistant athletic director at $80,000, effective July 1 of 2024 through July 31st of 27. Also, plus up to 10 additional days at a per diem rate of $307.69, effective May 9th through July 31st of 2024. That was Exhibit 3C. We have some classified transfers and reassignments. Dale Cabezzo from part-time special needs aide to full-time special needs aide at 7.25 hours a day. And Tiffany Renforth from part-time special needs aide to full-time special needs aide at 7.25 hours per day. We have some summer school elementary teachers being hired at $35 an hour, Carly Hogan, Julie Foudy, and Holly Fay. And we also have some hiring in extended time. That was Exhibit number 4. And finally, hiring of some extracurricular positions, resolutions number 166-2024 and number 167-2024. Those are Exhibit number 5. All of those as presented.
Based upon the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to accept the personnel resignations as outlined in 1A through C and the hiring of the license and transfer reassignments as presented in the exhibits as illustrated?
So moved, Demilo.
Second, Alquist.
Any discussion? I see Mr. Beam and Mr. Ignazio in the audience, so congratulations and welcome in the athletic director and assistant athletic director positions. I do want to thank at this time Mr. Cooper for stepping in as our interim athletic director coming out of retirement and supporting us in transition. So
He's in the house as well.
Is he in the,
In the
there
back.
he is.
I think
I
Mr.
see you,
Cooper
Mr.
snuck
Cooper.
in. Yes, he did.
We can't thank you enough for coming back to Canfield and supporting us in this transition. So, we truly appreciate you, and it allowed us to be able to obviously post these positions with time and do our due diligence to find the qualified candidates that the recommendations have come forward at this point. So thank you for that, and thank you to the gentlemen that are here, and good luck to all. And
I just wanted to say, Shelley Tancer has been with us for 34 years, retiring, Canfield graduate, married her high school sweetheart, both boys went to Canfield. I went to school with her, grew up with her, and she is a phenomenal woman, was a great teacher, and I just wanted to say to Shelley, if you're listening out there, man, you nailed it. Thank you, and we really appreciate you, and good luck in your retirement.
absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you, Mrs. Tancer. All right. Roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mr. DeMilo?
Yes.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
And under hiring of extracurricular, we have Mr. Andy Velakovich, head boys basketball coach for the 24-25 season at $10,544. That's resolution number 180-2024.
So moved, Campbell.
But based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to hire our head boys basketball coach, Mr. Velakovich, as presented in the resolution? And I can see with excitement, Mr. Campbell will make that motion.
Second, Demilo.
And a second from Mr. DeMilo. Any discussion? I see that Mr. Velakovich is in the house as well, so I'm going to say,
Both Mr. Velakoviches.
okay, I did not catch both Mr. Velakoviches, so I see them both. But to Coach Volakovich, we see you and congratulations for that. Although we gotta call roll, then you can clap after roll, so.
Call the roll.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist,
I have to abstain.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua,
Yes.
Mr. DeMilo,
Yes.
Mr. Atway.
Yes, now we can applaud, so congratulations.
It's that time to approve the CHS class of 2024, pending their completion of all course requirements. Exhibit number 6.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the CH class of 2024 pending their completion of the course requirements as presented in Exhibit 6?
So moved. Campbell.
Second, DeCapua?
Any discussion?
They did all complete it, right?
It was pending, so they got a few
It's
more weeks.
still pending, Ms.
So
Capua.
let's hope everybody on this list can make it to commencement Memorial Day weekend, which
keeping
is
an eye on
Sunday.
it.
So
Keeping an
yes,
eye on
2 o'clock, make sure you're there. All right. Roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua.
Yes.
Mr. DeMilo,
Yes.
Mr. Atway.
Yes.
And I'd like to recommend approving our class fees for the 2024-25 school year. That's exhibit number 7.
Based upon the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the class fees for 2024-2025 as presented in Exhibit 7?
So moved, Demila.
Second, Alquist.
Any discussion? I looked at this and it looks like we're pretty good with fees from.
I think the treasurer would tell you that there's no increase from last year, which that's not going to happen everywhere, let me just
Yeah,
say
There's
that.
no increase. The
Yeah.
yellow highlights were just
Yeah.
additional courses
Right.
that
Yeah.
were added.
That's pretty good. Nice to see.
Yeah. So we're holding strong.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua,
Yes.
Mr. DeMilo,
Yes.
Mr. Atway.
Yes.
I'd like to recommend approving some out-of-state overnight field trips in exhibit number 8. We have our girls' basketball team traveling to Cedar Point, June 14th to the 15th, to compete in the Top 64 Showcase. Provided travel and lodging are paid by an outside organization, Exhibit 8A. Girls' basketball team going to Shayersville, Ohio, participate in basketball camp, June 19th to the 21st in 2024. Provided lodging is paid for by an outside organization, that's Exhibit 8B. And the middle school girls' basketball teams travel to Shayersville, Ohio as well, participate in basketball camp, June 23rd through the 25th, providing lodging is paid for by an outside organization, that's Exhibit number 8C. And varsity and JV boys basketball teams going to Shayersville, participate in basketball camp June 16th through the 18th, provided lodging is paid for by an outside organization, that was Exhibit 8D.
Based upon the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the out-of-state overnight field trips as presented in Exhibits 8?
So moved, Alquist.
Second, DeCapua?
Any other discussion?
Mr. Atway,
Yes.
I think the exhibit says 9th grade as well, so we might want to add that
9th grade as well for Exhibit 8.
Boys
for
basketball.
D.
For
Yeah.
D?
Oh,
Okay,
letter
so
D.
that's going to be JV,
Okay.
varsity, as well as 9th grade freshmen. Very good. So those motions are going to be with the amended piece there. All right, roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua,
Yes.
Mr. DeMilo,
Yes.
Mr. Atway.
Yes.
And I'd like to recommend adopting the policies as our second reading. Those are found in exhibit number 9.
Based upon the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to adopt the policies for our second reading as presented in Exhibit 9?
So moved. Campbell.
Second, Demila.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua,
Yes.
Mr. DeMilo,
Yes.
Mr. Atway.
Yes.
And I'd like to recommend approving resolution number 168-2024 for payment in lieu of transportation as exhibit number 10.
Based upon the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion approving Resolution 168-2024 for payment in lieu of transportation?
So moved, Alquist.
Second, DeCapua?
Any discussion? So these are for students that go to different schools as we.
Yes,
as
they're
exhibits.
responsible for transport,
Yeah.
yep.
Roll call?
Dr. Alquist,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua,
Yes.
Mr. DeMilo,
Yes.
Mr. Atway.
Yes.
I'd like to recommend approving this settlement agreement and release of all claims that was found in exhibit number 11.
Based upon the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the settlement agreement and release of all claims as presented in Exhibit 11?
So moved, Campbell.
Second, Alquist?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mr. DeMilo?
Yes.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
The treasurer would like to talk about setting a special board meeting. We proposed Thursday, May the 30th. Wanted to see what the board schedule looked like there. Ms. Treasurer, can you just kind of sum up the game plan for that meeting?
There are several contracts out for bid that we would like to approve. Would also like to approve the 5-year forecast.
Okay, that's our 5-year forecast one.
Yep, that's the big one.
We're saying May 30th?
May 30th was a Thursday.
I won't be
Thursday.
here. I'm out of town that entire week.
I can't make that either.
Doc, you're out too. Okay.
Do we have at least 3 of us?
How about Wednesday?
Yeah, I should be able to.
Is Wednesday any better?
No.
That's better for you?
Yes.
I could be here the 30th or
Wed-
Wednesday.
Wed- Wednesday's better for you?
Mr. Milo, Wednesday's
I'm
better?
good with either.
Wednesday?
Good. Mr. Campbell, Wednesday's not good?
It should be.
I'll
I
put
gotta
a-
double check.
I'll put a good word in for it.
Checkouts, yeah.
Can we flex it
So
to
maybe-
Wednesday, the 29th?
Maybe Wednesday?
Wednesday's fine.
Okay.
Is
All
that
right,
good?
we'll shoot for the
We'll go
29th.
with that? Okay,
That sounds
great.
like
Thank you.
it can give us a little bit more flexibility.
Yep.
Do we have at least 3?
Yes.
Yeah, we should be
I
good.
can be here on the 29th, I think.
Do you need us to we don't need to vote?
Nope.
on that.
Nope, I'll just move on to number 9 there. So I'd like to recommend approving resolution number 179-2024, authorizing the execution of an architectural agreement with Team AE Architecture LLC in connection with the Canfield High School parking lot resurface and storm drain replacement project, Exhibit 12.
Based upon the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve Resolution 179-2024, authorizing the execution of the architectural agreement with Team AE Architecture, as presented in Exhibit 12?
So moved, Demila.
Second, Alquist?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mr. DeMilo?
Yes.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
And I'd like to recommend approving resolution number 181-2024, provided for the issuance and sale of school improvement bonds in the amount of $750,000. That's Exhibit number 13.
Based upon the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion approving Resolution 181-2024 as presented in Exhibit 13?
So moved, Campbell.
Second, DeCapua.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mr. DeMilo?
Yes.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
I got it.
All right, next up, we have donations.
Okay, so we have, these are show sponsorships for the Canfield players. Ace PH Wealth Group and Stephen Hanasek, $100, and Aaron Glista, $25. Michael and Christine Mazzella, $50. John Richley, $50. Santi and Sudar Nalapalini, $100. Allison and Michael Zaccali, $100. Erica Richley Duda, $100. Carrie Oth, $100. David Vernon, $250. Jeffrey and Stacy Mills, $50. Charles and Shannon Eddy, $50. Infinite Synergy, $100. Ashley Nicole Photography, $250. And Alcova Mortgage, $250. Michelle Perkins donated a piano to the high school band and choir.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. Again, this is going towards the CHS Art Show. The Lee family, $100. Tommy Lee, $100. David and Teresa Bensavengo, $25. Melissa Melaine Paget, $100. We have Alyssa Gabriel, $20. Lily Nelson, $10. Francis and Marcia Tarosi, $50. And that was all going towards the CHS Art Show. The CHS and CBMS Track Records Boards, Canfield High School Track Booster Club donated $4,415. The U.S. Department of Education, $200 to CHS Principals Fund. The Canfield PTA, $5,318 to the C.H. Campbell bowling trip. Junior Women's League of Canfield donated 200 Dr. Seuss books to Hilltop and C.H. Campbell. David Booth took $20 to the CVMS yearbook. Canfield PTA $1,407 to the Hilltop bowling trip. There's a big difference between our bowling trips. Box Tops for Education $24.50, C.H. Campbell Principals Fund. Chick-fil-A Boardman, Billy James. Free meal gift cards for the entire staff. Cardinal Cafe $250 to the Business Scholarship. Brings us in total cash donations, $13,614.50 for this month.
Very nice. Can I have a motion to approve the donations for May as presented?
So moved. Alquist?
Second, DeCapua.
Any discussion? I'll just say thank you to everyone again, and then just to Mary Witowski, who's been communicating with me from the Junior Women's League in regards to the books that they donated to Hilltop and CH. So I think that's
That was an awesome gesture.
Yeah,
That was a
Every,
great
every kindergartner
Yeah.
going to get a book.
so that's outstanding. So thank you to all the donations, and especially for that one too. So
And I made a new friend at Chick-fil-A. That was an awesome donation. I don't know if you all heard that, but every staff member.
so that's every staff
in
member.
the
Every
district
staff member
got a
gets
gift card.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, and very appreciative of that. I think people like Chick-fil-A. I learned that over the last few days.
So thank
In
you to
Canfield,
Mr.
people like
James for
Chick-fil-A.
that, and Chick-fil-A boardman.
Yeah.
So outstanding.
No, they're not coming to campus.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Alquist?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mr. Milo?
Yes.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes. All right, based upon what I'm seeing, it looks like we are wrapping up our agenda. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, DeCapua.
Second, Alquist?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much.